Hi, today I'm going to be presenting my project number 3 for psychological foundations, and I'm going to be discussing a little bit the concept of enhancing intrinsic motivation with students. So intrinsic incentives, unlike extrinsic incentives, which are actually some kind of reward for behavior or success, progress, intrinsic incentives are based on student interest in the material being taught. They're getting rewarded with increased information. So this is really just the motivation to learn without those immediate or extrinsic rewards that we're so used to. I'm going to talk about a few ways to enhance intrinsic motivation, and this can be a really difficult thing that I struggle with. So, or just as a teacher, because as a student, I was just naturally intrinsically motivated. And so I think I approached teaching believing that all children would be, and I found, especially with my freshmen, that they are not. Okay? So in order to enhance intrinsic motivation, which has been a goal of mine, you must attain student interest in the topic being taught. Then you need to present information in a way that further piques student interest and curiosity, which again can be very, very difficult. We've all sat in a class, taught a class, watched out, looked over the audience, and just seen, well, as you can see here, just looks of pure boredom. And that's not fun as a teacher, and it's not effective as a teacher. So, piquing interest. This is the big one. Teaching science, I find that some subjects or some categories or topics that we discuss are very interesting. Some are very, very difficult to get the students interested in. And that's just kind of how it goes. So some ways to pique student interest is to create a supportive classroom climate, arouse interest via several ways that I'm going to discuss briefly, maintain curiosity, which is a difficult task, and varying modes of presentation. So the first concept is creating a supportive classroom climate. And this is just creating a warm and accepting environment in which students feel safe taking risks and trying ideas. So they're willing to take the information and run with it, jump with it, and they feel okay doing this. Okay? This type of climate involves a teacher with a lot of support for the students, a lot of support in their desires to take these risks and try their ideas, but also a teacher with high expectations. And the way that this works out is that the teacher is supportive and creates this climate and has a high expectations, and due to good standing with the students and likability, essentially, students seek to please the teacher. So you get that intrinsic motivation from the feeling of safety as well as the desire to please the teacher. Next is arousing interest, and this is a hard one. Here we have to convince students the importance of the material and provide evidence of usefulness. So what I like to do at the beginning of each physical science chapter is relate the subject that we're about to be talking about to things that they do understand or stuff that they see in their everyday lives that they don't even realize is what is actually the science that we're going to discuss, okay? And also relate that to previous experiences. So sometimes we'll have a video day, the first day of a new chapter, to just show them some everyday hands-on uses of the science that we're discussing so that they can relate that in their minds and really build off of that. Next is maintaining curiosity, and this can be difficult to do in a 47-minute lecture. It's really important to break up your instruction time and incorporate more than just sitting and lecturing at the kids. I found that freshmen just really cannot handle that. So to maintain curiosity, sometimes I'll use an element of surprise. Science is good for that because there's all kinds of neat things that you can show kids. So I break up the monotony with a baffling demonstration or a challenge that requires a bit more information to solve, because if they see something that they don't understand, but they're interested in it and want to understand, what it's really going to do is increase their interest for that new information. And I found that this has been really effective in helping kind of maintain the curiosity for a subject. Next are varied modes of presentations, and we all kind of do this to some degree, create interesting materials, interesting assignments, have guest speakers, demonstrations, videos, games, anything to have children learning, but still, breaking it up so that they actually are feeling rewarded by the end product. There's some kind of intrinsic reward there. So why is intrinsic motivation important? I'll talk about this really quick. This allows students to become an active participant in their learning and success, which can carry over to other subjects. It's just important. And also allows them to be successful in the real world where you're responsible for your motivation and productivity. With that, I'd like to thank you.